So right now my teammates are handing you guys an example of what our product might look like, and we'll get some more details on that in a moment. So if you guys have any experience gardening in New Mexico, you know that it's challenging. New Mexico is hot, it's dry, and with climate change coming around the corner, it's only going to get worse. And this doesn't just apply to New Mexico, it applies definitely to the whole Southwest and to a lot of other regions and growing regions of the world as well. The problem is when you buy seeds from nurseries, they are usually varieties of seeds that are suited for large-scale farming. They're high-yield, high-production seeds that are designed for ideal conditions. What we're looking at getting is heat-resistant, drought-resistant seeds that are more suitable to our climate here in New Mexico and in places with similar climates. And our idea with Growscape is that we can send you these organic, non-GMO seeds straight to your door, along with simple packaging to help you understand exactly what you have to do to care for these seeds. The packaging itself even will be plantable or compostable. Another problem that we absolutely address is that, you know, if you're familiar with gardening, you go to the store, you buy a packet of seeds, and you can plant a small fraction of that packet. You have like 100 seeds, you can plant maybe 20, 30. Then you put away the other ones in a drawer somewhere, you forget about it for a year or two. By the time you find it again, all those seeds are dead. So we will send you the exact number of seeds you need for your planting area. And month to month, we can build upon the seeds that we've sent you and build a unique, vibrant garden. We've actually already tested this process. We went to the farmer's market here in Albuquerque and interviewed a number of people. And we also set up a survey about 24 hours ago online, posted on Reddit, Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff. We've gotten over 70 responses in less than 24 hours. And most of those people, a little less than 80% garden. We also have some other questions, especially what are the challenges to gardening? You guys may not be able to read this, but the top challenge actually is heat. And we were focusing on the Southwest region, so that makes some sense. The second most important challenge is time and effort, just actually getting out there and doing the gardening. And with our simple, straightforward instructions, we think we can help both of those issues. Thirdly, we ask people if they're interested in a subscription service where they would periodically receive seeds that are ideal for their climate and ready to plant. More than half of the respondents said maybe or yes. We've also done a decent amount of analysis on the cost structure and revenue. Seeds are very inexpensive. Even retail priced organic seeds are less than 3 cents a seed. We will work with seed exchanges and farmers in the local area, and we think we can get prices well below that. We've also found a packaging company that would be able to package the seeds with our instructions in organic packaging that can be composted or planted with the seed. They charge about $1.20 per packet as long as we buy at least 100 packets. On the revenue side, we currently have a website up. It's been up for just a few hours now. And we're actually already converting people on the site. We're doing A/B testing with a number of different revenue and cost models, revenue and delivery models, rather. So we already are starting to get a pretty good idea of what people are interested in. And even the least profitable scenario, which is basically $4 a month, we are looking at about a 30% profit margin. And that's including fulfillment costs. You notice the packaging company will actually also ship to the customers. So that includes fulfillment costs, sourcing the seeds, a little bit of overhead, and a decent amount of customer acquisition. And one last revenue model before I go to questions, or one last component, is that we can also get affiliate links to complementary products such as fertilizer, gray water systems, irrigation systems, with existing businesses. So that's another potential revenue stream. That's the idea in a nutshell, and I'll go ahead and open it to questions.
Great. Question from the judges, please.
Yes. Yeah. the subscription fee that includes all seeds? Does that include all the seeds?
Yes, the subscription fee includes a regular delivery of seeds. We're currently doing our testing on whether that should be monthly or seasonally. Go ahead.
The growing season is only a few months a year. Why would somebody subscribe for the whole year when they're only needing seeds up front?
There are a variety of seeds you plant. In New Mexico, the planting season goes from February to August. And in the winter, we would send seeds for indoor herbs and things of that nature that you could grow in your kitchen.
There's it seems like there's a lot of different ways you could be distributing this. As you had said, you're sending people packets of seeds that are specific to their size yard.
Correct.
Do you see that as a scalable model if you had 2 million users, all of which were demanding variable size distribution in packets?
Yes, as long as we control the number of possible variables. There could be small, medium, large packages. I think we have more fine control as we're learning toward the beginning, but as it scales to a larger scale, we can't be as exact, but we can match, if your yard size is within this number of square feet, then you should get this number of seeds. So there'd be graduated sizes.
So
Yes.
in addition to growing, would you also have guides for garden planning if someone's wanting to
Yes,
develop?
absolutely. We would like to put a lot of additional relevant information online, such as solving related problems that mini gardeners have, and that would actually be free to everyone. That would be part of our customer acquisition process. So that would just be a reason to come to the website in general.
Not everyone is good at gardening. How are you going to guarantee that I'll be able to grow plants with your seeds?
If you follow our instructions, we will guarantee that the planting process will be easy. We obviously can't guarantee that things are always going to grow, but we will test germination rates and things like that, so we should have an idea of whether things are likely to grow.
So are you focusing on the masses? Or are you focusing on folks that are very interested and invest a lot in gardening? The reason I ask is it seems like Lowe's and Home Depot guarantee their plants. A lot of stuff folks are buying emotionally on site, saying, I didn't see this plant, I'm gonna grab that one. And the folks that are taking care of those plants seem to know what works well in our climate. So how do you compete with all of those elements?
That's kind of at odds with the information we've gathered in our surveys,
Okay.
but we, well, I don't have a good off-the-cuff answer for that,
Okay.
but it's not what we found in our information gathering.
During your 1-minute pitch, you talked about seed exchange, so people exchange
Yes.
seeds laterally.
We found there's actually a number of seed exchanges in the area, and we would be a source for those seeds, which are actually quite different from the seeds you would get at a Home Depot or Lowe's.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Great,
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Hello. How's everybody doing? Good. All right. There is a need in Albuquerque for events that look like Startup Weekend, but on steroids. Albuquerque has untapped talent and resources. This room is full of passionate people who have committed to spend their entire weekend working without pay, away from loved ones, and with little sleep to change the world. You are the lifeblood of our communities. We believe if we provide you the tools and the resources, we will energize and empower. Unlike Startup Weekend, we come to you, spending 4 weeks in your community, getting to know you. We are determined to be diverse, like our communities. Unlike existing organizations in Albuquerque, we are a gateway to entrepreneurism, a pipeline to these existing organizations. We're the bridge from Startup Weekend to the incubator. So fortunately, we are surrounded by our future Brain Crate members. We talked to over 25 entrepreneurs, several industry titans, and a couple thought leaders. The results are in, and we're awesome. 95% of people agree they would pay $100 per event. You want more ways to make what we're doing today happen more often, closer to home, with more time and tools. You want to be refined and polished before pitching to investors. You want it, we got it.
All right, hi. All right, Brain Crate operates as a not-for-profit co-op. So we leverage membership fees and key partnerships to providing coaching and services to entrepreneurs like you. The co-op members actually have when you're a part of the co-op, you actually have the opportunity to affect the kinds of events that actually happen. So event themes are chosen by the co-op members. So the actual event is geared towards a specific theme in mind, a specific solution or that needs to be generated for a problem. And then based on that theme, we deploy in different communities. And so the location changes every time, and we recruit new talent from each community, gearing up those people in that community to do these types of things that they may not have been able to do before, and we're on their doorstep. So the event unfolds in 1 month, and it's broken into a series of phases. Each phase utilizes tailored coaching. So in each phase, there's coaching that's specific to that phase. So there's 4 phases, and the first week we're in the community and we're drumming up support and talking to community partners and getting people to come. And that weekend, it basically is exactly like this event, where you form teams around a pitch and you work on that and you pitch again, and it's basically exactly like this. But that's where the similarities change. We continue after startup weekend, and we will have week 2 where you keep working on your item after you keep working on your product, and you get specific coaching that helps you further define that. And at the end of that, you go through the gauntlet, and if you survive, your team survives, you go on further. So each iteration has less teams. Once you've gone phase 2, week 2, and you've passed it, we actually provide you with a small amount of seed money for you to work on a prototype. So then you go off to week 3 and you build a prototype, and you have a physical object to come back at the week 3 gauntlet and present again, and then you're culled again. And so if you survive the 3rd week, the 4th week is what we call the big show. And we take you back to a central venue, and you present into a large group of investors. And so I hope the odds are in your favor.
Okay. So we basically have a cost structure where members will pay anywhere, say, from $35 to $100 for their involvement, depending on what their involvement is. We'll have sponsorships where sponsors can get involved for as little as $500, and then they have visibility of their company. They have access then potentially to new untapped talent. The talent there, of course, is going to get lots of feedback and coaching and things that are going to take all of the advantages of the startup weekend and apply them over a longer period of time. We're basically looking for interested people that are entrepreneurs, new talent, and those sponsors that we mentioned, people that are creative, that have a passion for this industry. And we have a very wide social presence right now, which we're using to try to gain those folks. We have Facebook, Twitter, Google+, all your usual social media sites. And what we want to do is bridge the gap between a typical startup and incubators.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
I think you started to get into that towards the end. That you said the members are going to generate the content or determine the content. So you're going to leverage social networks to do that? Is that
Yes.
So you'll have your own community within Facebook?
Yes, what we're really trying to do is build a community around it. So the first level membership to the co-op connects you to this whole community, and that community tries to help each other, and it tries to generate themes for the events to try to get the types of events that you want to see, the types of startups you want to see, and sponsors get to play a role in that too. And we're really trying to generate a more focused over a longer period of time, accelerating their business ideas.
Do you all have the, I mean, it's interesting you're choosing a not-for-profit model, and I can kind of understand why you are. I'm wondering if you're thinking of exploring relationships. These exist in other cities. Accelerators are really generally what they're called, and they tend to be tied to venture capital or angel groups. Obviously, we have a community here in New Mexico. You guys thought about connecting with groups like that so that they'll be.
Yeah, we were definitely looking at partnerships with other organizations because, like I said, we wanted to bridge the gap. So we kind of want to feed some of the incubators and things like that, and then folks that maybe come out of an event like this that really needed more time. We're trying to suit that niche as far as people.
There's also like Q Lab is one of the ones here, and we've heard from some of the people here that there's a couple other hubs opening up. We would funnel people to them. They would be working in our space in a sort of not administrative, but they're working on their idea, and we connect them to those resources. We go, hey, go over here, build your prototype. You need a 3D printer, you need this or that. We connect them to them, and that's kind of coaching and support we'll provide in a sort of accelerated fashion.
Any other questions from the judges?
Just one more. What do you think the hardest participant will be to find, to engage with? The sponsors, the attendees, the people that are here in the audience?
I think really just getting the attendees is going to probably be the most difficult. You're going to want to focus on that, making sure that you constantly have people coming in the door. But part of the partnerships that we have with those incubators and things like that will also help funnel things back to us.
I think the most difficult challenge is really going to be the fact that we're moving and we're trying to set up in different communities, and that's going to kind of present a unique challenge each time. But it's also going to provide an opportunity because the sponsors can change. Maybe you weren't interested over there, but you're interested when it's close to you in your community. It's going to change who's interested in it.
I just wanted to end with, we really just want to provide a platform for people to have conversations around entrepreneurship and what's going on in our communities, and do that offline as well as online. So we will have a serious digital and social presence. So look for us.
Thank you very much. So how's this in the back?
Step this way. Oh, sorry.
Right. So how do you know what you do not know? Where do you go to find out what you do not know? Currently, search engines just can't do it. You need to first know the question before you can ask it. You can fumble and bubble around to get to it eventually, but it'll take a while. So I'd like to present to you Datumbazo. It is a new way of searching for content. So you enter a search query, say that you want to become a pilot. I'm a flight instructor, so you want to become a pilot. And you know that stalls are important. You need to know about stalls. So you enter stalls in and you get that result out like that. Any other search engine, Wikipedia will do this. You click on it, the article will come up, you'll read it, you'll click out, but where do you go after that? This is where search engines fail. But with this, you can go out to a 5,000 foot altitude and see more. You can learn what's around it. So now you can finally ask the right questions. What's nice is that you can then go to a 10,000 foot level to see everything about aviation, and even beyond that to a 50,000 foot level to see everything about even mathematics and other concepts and see how they connect. I filed a patent on how to make that happen. It can go pretty wrong pretty quickly. So how to do it right. So I'd like you to imagine to go to a 60-mile view where you can see all human knowledge all right there in front of you. So this is using vector-based graphics, so it's an infinite canvas. You can pan and zoom infinitely. It's as big as the universe, and it can contain all of the universe's knowledge, humanly related. To do this, there are three things that we're putting together, three basic things. This knowledge map, also a Wikipedia-style editing, where people can come in and help curate, as well as the ability to bring in other sources. The lack of automation in that is crucial. Google and Yahoo, big companies have tried to do this, but they failed because they tried to automate it right away. We keep it simple. We let humans do what humans do naturally. Then the third aspect is we try to automate it as best we can with AIs. And allow AIs to do content consolidation as best it can. So I've been focusing on this for about 1.5 years, just idea-wise. So I know what people are looking for. The visual aspect of it is important. Next, having the ability to read-write that web is very important. For companies, it's very important to then be able to add their voice into this as well. So I, as somebody wanting to learn aviation, I'm just as interested in stalls as I am in the latest headset or the latest retrofitted avionics like Maspin. So I can go into that section of aviation, I can drill down into that, I can learn about it generally, and then visually I can look through content that companies have created. It's tricky to do, but you can make that seamless and make it true without making it seem as though you're trying to push something on somebody. Instead, they'll be pulling out that data because they know they want it already. So for companies, it's important. And finally, I'm on a board of directors in Santa Fe for a charter school. So I know that teachers want a Khan Academy style website where they can also contribute. Make sure that teachers can contribute so their students are getting out as well. And so our team is, we have over 60 years of combined software, IT, and startup experience. This is really big. We're wanting to recreate the way people use the internet. We also know that you have to start small. So what we're going to do is start small by creating knowledge maps of all 4.3 million Wikipedia articles, first through pilot projects, and then expanding out. UNM and MSU, the honors departments, have expressed interest in granting their students credits for creating first maps. You start expanding into universities, and you get better and better data. Then you allow companies to curate as well. So, yeah, I'm actually going to be doing a TED Talk in September on a related concept, and I'll be introducing it there as well.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
I think that where you're going is absolutely brilliant and necessary. I've had my mind wrapped around the space a long time. I think you're right. I think something else is, another benefit is that you take the exhaustion out of search. It's exhausting to search, okay? You get one page of results and you gotta go back, and you're tired by the third page and the third subject. So I think where you're headed is really interesting. I think with some tweaking, you can actually turn the tables on Google. I think with some tweaking, you can actually have them pay you for inclusion, okay? So I think there's something very interesting here. What's your revenue model for this?
Yes, so I tried to apply it without going deeply into it. Later on, there's so many options as well, but I'm looking right now at having companies create profiles and then the ability to paste it in there as well. So whether it's a click-through, so we can get the most amount of content on there, or it's a percentage of the sale, if there's a sale made there. Currently 2 things that we're looking at. But yeah.
This system also has widespread commercial corporate application for basically visualizing any kind of data.
Enterprise level applications such as project management, intranet solutions for within a company, within their profile, in the same site, but at a different layer.
So one of the reasons that the associated search or association searching like this is really stymied Google is because they found a small number of things that have clear associations and a large number of things that have very nebulous associations or very qualitative associations. How do you plan on getting past that?
People do this. You know, you look up Leonardo da Vinci, Google says, you may also be interested in Picasso. Great, 2 painters. So when you get people curating this, there's a lot more you can add. And somebody that's really into Leonardo will know his competitors and who he drew inspiration from, which you don't get through increasing weighted edges between links.
All right, but how do you get the Da Vinci pizza parlor from showing up in that particular bubble?
Facebook has the same issue, right, with multiple names, and you assume some sort of intelligence on the people, or you can add a slightly added information like this one's from Cape Cod, this one's from Washington State.
We intend to start out using our people to make sure that the data is relevant to what we're searching for, and then use the artificial intelligence algorithms to try to mimic that process.
You mean right from the start?
Just early on.
Wikipedia has this as well, where it has a, what's the term for it?
Disambiguation.
Disambiguation. Yes, thank you.
So do you plan on having a different algorithm for different types of people? So for example, you said pilot projects for students. A student searching for a subject is going to be much different than the average person who might want to know about a particular topic for
Absolutely. So catering to having the interface molded around the person by learning about him or her. Absolutely.
I think
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.